What's up guys, Intellitech Studios here, and when have you seen a vacuum saved this quickly after one just got posted? Welcome to Vacuum Saved episode 56, this time with some awesome finds, thanks primarily to getting lucky at Goodwill and a couple other thrift stores and finding machines that I've wanted for a while, and also finding a local vacuum collector purging a good chunk of their back catalog that they pretty much gave up on working on. And that's where all these machines all come from. So we've got a handful of machines that came from a local collector, and I don't know if that person wants to be named just yet, but if I talk to them and they decide they do want to be named, then they will be featured on the channel if they desire to, because frankly, that person does deserve recognition should they choose, because this was a huge success, an awesome find, and I made a new friend, so I'm very happy about that. At least I'd like to think so. So, we got a good chunk of machines from another local vacuum collector. This includes Fantom Fury 10 amp number 1, Fantom Fury 10 amp number 2, Fantom Cyclone XT, Dyson DC07 Target Red, Bissell PowerTrack Revolution, and Black & Decker Dirt Buster, a very nostalgic machine that I never thought I'd see again. And then I also got lucky at a couple thrift stores at my local Catholic Charities. I found one of these Kenmore Progressive 100s that I've been after for quite a while, but it was one of those machines that I never really wanted to buy unless I found one for a good deal locally, and 15 bucks made the decision for me. And also, never in my life have I found a Fantom at a thrift store until the other day. In fact, it was the same day that I got all these machines on, it was last Wednesday that I got all these machines from that vacuum collector, was also the exact same day that I got this Kenmore and this Fantom Thunder. So technically, I got all these last Wednesday, and it's currently Sunday that I am recording this. You'll probably see this tomorrow on Monday. So technically I could have done this video then, but I was about to leave for Thanksgiving and I had to put all these aside until then. And now we're finally getting to it. So huge success. I've never found this many Fantoms in such a short period of time. And I've been told certain things about some of these machines by the person that gave them to me. And then some other was I'm going in blind, but I don't want to reveal that information because I want us to find out together. So, we'll start off with the Bissell, because, I mean, after all, that's what this channel was founded on. As you can see, well, the handle's not attached, and it's a little bit floppy. So, yeah, this handle is definitely missing a handle screw. So, the good news is you can still get those decently easily. If I can line this up again. Oh, goodness. Why aren't you lining up? Okay. Maybe I gotta... Okay. Pull that off. Okay. Maybe now I can get this... There we go. So, obviously needs a handle screw. And no attachments at all. 0. And we also... Oh, did I just break something? No? Okay, that's still good. And we also have little couple marks on the cord. This one's definitely the weakest of all the finds. But, and as you can tell, the pedal is broken. This is definitely one where it makes sense why this was in the sort of get rid of pile, because I imagine most people wouldn't want to mess with this. But it is a Bissell 6591 from the 150th day of 2005. So, this machine definitely needs a good little tune-up. Let's check that pre-motor filter. Yep, that's pretty bad. It still has dirt in the dirt cup. These little side pieces are packed full with some fine dust. And I feel like I know what I'm going to find underneath here. Okay, it's actually not that bad, but that one looks like it was changed somewhat recently. But yeah, it's the Bissell PowerTrack Revolution. My favorite of all the bagless Bissells, yet still, it's all that dust, still not ideal compared to a bag machine. But, yeah, so this poor thing definitely needs some work. We actually have a replacement CWP brush roller, which honestly is going to probably perform a lot better than the original. For some reason, it feels like it's... What is it? It feels like it's like up in the chassis for some reason. Not sure why that is. Like, it feels like it's misaligned. Like it's supposed to be in the center and it's like up for whatever reason. Also a little chip right there. So who knows? This thing might be too rough to actually stay in the collection, but I'm the only person who'd probably rescue one of these. So yeah, hopefully I'll still find a good one of these days. And no filter. But I've got a million of those, so that is not a problem. And it's an older one with the shorter kind of hose cuff right there, which doesn't want to pop out. Actually, I guess it wasn't locked in the first. Oh no, it was. Okay. So yeah, this thing, from what I've been told, has the Bissell motor syndrome, or at least that's my explanation of it. Rocco's being strange today, but I've been told it runs okay, and this one I actually did run there just to make sure it runs in some fashion and isn't like completely shot. But yeah, this thing definitely needs some work. So who knows how much work I'll put into this PowerTrack Revolution. I might just hold out for another one because these things are still reasonably common. There's still thousands of them out there at a minimum, since they did survive a lot longer in the original Clean Views because of that revolution system. But it is a little noisy from what I could remember, and it's on bare floor for some reason. Again, I feel like this brush roll is strange, but yeah. Yeah, that motor definitely needs some work. It doesn't sound like it's off balance. It sounds to me like the bearings are super dry because it had that like metallic screechy noise to it. So it does work, but it definitely sounds rough. So definitely needs some bearing work done to it. Next, we've got a bag machine, Kenmore Progressive. I believe this is the Progressive 100 model, from what I remember. And it's got some kind of strange extension hose on it, which I'm definitely not complaining about it being there. So probably will disconnect that. Because that's just going to get in the way for now. And we can put that down there. There we go. Good as new. Now, very dirty. And only the upholstery tool, missing the dusting brush and the wand. And is that a phone number? Let's say, I don't know what all that is, but if I pull this cord off, we do have some bags. Quite nice, some Panasonic and Kenmore bags. So that is indeed nice. And actually I can put that back in there. There we go. Nice cord. I wonder, it looks like this is a model with some kind of a clutch. There's our brush roll, which feels loose, probably because it's upright. Maybe this has some kind of brush control system that I'm not aware of. Carpet, and then bare floor and tools. Okay, so you push it up for carpets. Okay, probably needs a belt because that feels about the same to me. And there's a lot of debris in the brushes, which tells me it's not actually cleaning up anything. So there's some kind of problem with this, from what I can tell. Of course, it's on the low setting, just like every vacuum always is. There's our basic filter, pretty nasty. I'm going to guess that's never been changed. Yep, that was an accurate prediction. I think I have one of these somewhere. If not, I know you can still get them in bulk. Maybe. Oh, goodness. I'll put that back real quick. This one's got a dirt sensor, which I didn't even know they made on these. And then there's our bag. Again, really dirty on the inside, but pretty typical. Yeah, wow, really nasty. Maybe they ran this without a bag, or maybe this bag just isn't doing too well. Yeah, there is dust on my fingers on that bag. Panasonic's bags always seem to filter okay, but I wonder if these ones were. Oh, that filter actually looks okay though. So maybe they sucked up too much fine dust. I don't know. But let this be the evidence that it's not always as simple as bagged being better. Because obviously, if you have, sorry about that noise, but obviously if you have crappy bags like that, then yeah, you're going to get just as nasty as a bagless machine. And these are why people hate bagged machines. So let's see what happens when we turn this on. Hopefully it doesn't explode. Wow. So this thing will clean up quite nicely with a new belt, cleaning up that brush roll, cleaning up the machine, and throwing a quality bag in there. I think this will make a great addition to the collection. It stinks and it's nasty, but it needs some TLC. It runs great though. Like, that's a nice, quiet machine. Definitely can see this one staying in the collection, although it is kind of bulky compared to a lot of other Panasonics. But definitely, you know, better than like a Vibrance or a Spirit or something like that. So, and yes, I did say that because it's true. But yeah, so this thing smells bad, but it seems like that's the only reason they threw it out. That and the belt, of course, probably that being the more pressing issue, because, you know, probably didn't pick up very well with the bad belt. So yeah, definitely going to get its own video, and definitely going to be a nice addition to the collection for the $15 that I paid for it, which is about the right price for one of these. I've seen these all over eBay and stuff and Marketplace for like, you know, $100 or something like that. There was someone selling one locally, and I was debating on getting it, but they had it listed for like 40 or $50, which is not a bad price for this machine, you know, rebuilt and everything. And it was someone who actually rebuilt it. But it's one of those machines where I don't really want to pay that extra to have it rebuilt. I'd rather just find one cheap and work on it myself, because I don't want to put as much money into it, even if it is worth it. You know, it's like one of those like on the fence machines where it'd have to be cheap enough for me to jump into it. And in this case it was. So, and who knows, maybe I'll really like this and I'll want to buy that other one if it's still there, which I don't think it is anymore at this point. But yeah. So yeah. $15, definitely not going to complain about that. So yeah, just needs a clean, a belt, and some tools. And it does have the extension hose, which is always nice. Next, we've got this lovely red Dyson, which, do I need any more DC07s? Absolutely not. But will I ever not rescue one? Also, absolutely not. And this one's a Target Red Edition. Although this is not the fancier model with the red on the wheels. This one is... Actually, this one appears to have newer wheels on it, because the wheels are like a darker color than the rest of the machine, strangely enough. And the only tool it has is the upholstery tool with the felt coming off, but that's okay. So this one appears to be okay, although I did notice later on that there's no brush roll. So he said the clutch was good, but the brush roll was missing, and he apologized for it and was like, oh, I can get you a brush roll. And I'm like, don't worry about it, I've got a bunch of them. You know, I probably would have changed it anyways, so I wasn't worried about that. Let's check out the filter. Oh, this is one of these, isn't it? Ooh, that's clapped. That's definitely a bit too small. Okay. So the case is kind of salvageable, but really, yeah, probably just toss that. And this definitely has some sand in the housing. Definitely don't want to run that with all that in there. And there's some down here too. I'm glad I checked this before I run it, because if I turned that on, all that sand would have gone through the motor, and I definitely don't want that. So definitely good that we... Rocco, what are you doing? What are you doing? Yeah, definitely needs a filter. That part's not broken, which is good, because I broke it on my pink. That gasket is a little worn, but the actual part that seals appears to still be okay. So should be okay. I'm going to get that sand up before I run this. Alright, so I cleaned the sand out of that little section. And I did put that crappy filter back in, but we're not even running it with agitation, so it should be okay. And there is some fluff in there, so it wasn't used, or it wasn't used all that long ago, it seems. The Cyclone's probably in good shape, from what I can tell. So we'll go ahead and see if this runs. Probably see how loud it is, because these Dysons are always whir and make noise from the Cyclones. God, I hate how loud these are compared to the 14s. So much louder. But yeah, so it does run, and it sounds... I mean, it's not quiet, but it's healthy at least. It sounds reasonably healthy. And there's no real damage. Well, a little bit of... Oh, is that a chip right there? I guess there is a chip right there, because this part always breaks. Thankfully, this is the reinforced version. So yeah, I don't know if I'll keep this, because DC07s are just so annoying because of how loud they are. But it is still interesting, an interesting save. And of course, like every DC07, the cleaner head keeps getting pushed up off the floor. So even if this did have a brush roll on it, it wouldn't clean worth a crap unless you boil that hose or just replace it. But yeah, it does work. It just needs a brush roll, a proper filter. I imagine a set of filters, because I imagine that half a filter is probably clogged. And yeah, that's pretty much it, really. And then, I mean, I guess 2 more tools if you really wanted to. It's got this one at least. It's kind of messed up, but yeah, it's still decent. So I grabbed this one because we were gonna do the Thunder next. It's got this weird clicking noise coming from somewhere. Sounds like there's something lodged in the wand. Not sure what that's all about. If I can grab a flashlight. I don't know how I'm going to get this on camera. You can kind of see there's a spider web in there. And probably can't see that, but there is something. Yeah, you probably... Oh, just whacked my Xbox. Probably can't see that. But I feel like that's gonna make some noise when we turn this on. Well, so no attachments, but it does have the floor tool holster. And there's our brush roll, which does turn. So that might be okay. And this part's chewed up right here from where the clip was sitting on it, because people keep putting the clips on the rubber grips for some reason. And so we'll plug this in. I don't know if this is on or not. We're about to find out. Okay, it's not. And now let's see. Well, it says whistle equals blockage, so I guess I missed that part. But let's see if we recline it. Ooh, that is rough. Look at all that dirt right there. They'll just mirror the lights just on, and then they weren't. Also, that's not a setting. I just noticed that. That's not a height setting. Okay. So let's take off the wand, because clearly there's something blocked in there. That'll even come off. There we go. There's something in there. Let's try it now. Oh, it is still clogged. Huh. Well, this thing definitely needs some type of TLC, because yeah, it is blocked somewhere. Now this will... Oh, one of the cleanout ports is... Those knobs are in the wrong place. Anything in here? Oh. Well, there's a nail. That might be part of it. But I don't think that's the whole thing. Well, this thing will definitely need a deeper dive. Hey, it looks like there's some gunk in there. So probably have to check this out later on. Let's see if we can get that clog out. Alright, next we've got Fury 1 of 2. This one's the crappier looking one. This one's 22nd week of 1996. Oh yeah, and I forgot to show this sticker. Model TH51, and this one's from 1999. So I forgot to show that one. But this one's is a 1996. And yeah, this thing's been through a lot. See, the whole front of the Cyclone pack is just gouged really badly. Ironically, the sticker's in good shape, but the plastic is gouged really bad. And of course the sticker's peeling off. Although again, the sticker's actually not in bad shape, even compared to the other stickers, or the other sticker, which this Fury's a lot nicer condition-wise. This one's a lot more beat up. It's got the loose bumper like they always do. And this one I noticed, if I take the bin off, you can see it's like melted part of the inner Cyclone piece, which is not good because debris could obviously get sucked in through there and through the Cyclone and through the motor. So definitely don't want to run that long term by any stretch, if assuming this thing even runs. Oh, it's a FAR filter, so definitely very old. This one's what does that say? April 25th of 1997, probably. I don't know how this gasket is so misaligned, but wouldn't be surprised. Oh yeah, and there's pet hair on the filter. That's not a good sign. Yeah, it's not a good sign if you've got hair on the exhaust filter. This brush roll, however, is really good. That's a really nice brush roll. And the belt's, it's got a new belt on it. Like, that's a good belt. So, hey, this thing doesn't run. It'll make a good parts machine. So let's see. And also, this too. That's coming off. Which, it's like silly putty. That's just coming off. There's no use in me trying to save this. I mean, it's just gonna come off anyways. I know I'm probably making people cringe by yanking this off, but realistically it wasn't. Oh, okay, now it's gonna be all sticky. Which, of course, that was already really sticky. That looks awful. Why did I do that? Oh, God. Well, I just regretted that. I probably made a lot of people unhappy with that. Oh, that looks nasty. It looks naked. Well, either way, let's, yeah, that's pretty sticky. I might have to clean that. But let's see if this runs. I mean, it runs. It doesn't sound amazing, but it sounds better than that newer Fury I got. I mean, that other Fury that I got locally in the last vacuum save, that thing was much newer. That thing ran so much worse and was in way worse condition. Although the wand was better, so I'll put that wand on this one probably. And otherwise, you know, once I clean up that motor, honestly surprised it runs as good as it does, and the motor probably just needs a little bit of work done to it, and it'll run nice and smooth. The thing does have quite the rattle to it. I'm not sure why. The whole like front of it seemed like it was rattling, so definitely needs some kind of work. Who knows? Could be. I mean, it's the kind of thing. It's obviously, you know, not the kind of thing where you'd sell as a refurb or anything, but yeah, it could be saved for sure. I mean, that is what we're all about, right? Saving something, especially a Fantom. So yeah. All right, on to Fury number 2. Yep, that's about what I expected. So he did tell me that one of the Furies, he wasn't sure which one of the Furies did run, but it ran rough, and the other one didn't run at all. I suspect that's what this one was. Because he said this one was in good shape, and he was planning on rebuilding it, but at some point when he put it back together, believing that he had repaired it, it didn't turn on, and he didn't want to mess with it anymore. He just didn't want to, you know, after going through all that work, he just wanted to be done with it and not look at it again, which I totally understand. So this obviously needs some kind of work, but it otherwise looks to me in good shape. Like, yeah, there's a lot of external dust from it sitting around for a while, but you can tell that at one point this thing was a good, you know, soon-to-be refurbished machine. And it even has the holster, even though it doesn't have any attachments. It does have the holster with plenty of spider webs. Oh, I just realized that's broken. Wow. I didn't even see that. That kind of sucks. Huh. Ain't that interesting? I've never seen that before. So it's got this, but that's broken. Interesting. First time I've ever seen that on one of these. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't look too bad. And this one, yeah, this one's a 1997, so a little bit newer than the other one. And let's see, the bin on this one. Oh yeah, I can definitely tell that he did work on this. I mean, look at that. That's really pretty. Of course, those are rusted like they always are. And yeah, look at that. That looks good too. Yeah, so I mean, obviously this was planned. Well, screws rusted. What are you going to do about that? Obviously, this was planned at one point to be a good sellable machine, but you know, sometimes it just doesn't work out that way. Even this is mostly seated correctly, but I can see the top of the head isn't quite seated properly, but it's always difficult to do that on these, so I'm not going to give him any grief for that. I struggled with that for a while. No belt in this, obviously, because he probably didn't get that far with it, but the brush roll's in okay shape. A lot of rust here. But again, you can tell that at one point he washed and cleaned all this in anticipation of selling it. Because, yeah, this is all rusted, but if someone was just going to use this... Actually, that's rusted solid. Actually, both these are rusted solid. But, you know, if someone was going to use this, they might not have even, you know, cared about that or even noticed it, because who even looks at the bottom of these? If it was just a normal person and not a Fantom collector. And we'll check this filter out. Okay, another FAR. Okay, that's ironic. This one... Wait. Okay, so one of these Fantoms was a 96, but it had a 97 filter in it. And then this one is a 97 with a 96 filter in it. I wonder if these filters got switched. Maybe he was working on both these at the same time and he put the opposite filters in. That's got to be the case, because that seems like an awful coincidence. And yeah, these older low-quality filters are pretty bad. I mean, look at that terrible filter. But yeah, it's kind of loose in there too, but that's to be expected. And the 10 amps also weren't branded as HEPA because that wasn't standard yet. They did sell a version of this without the Fury branding with no HEPA filter, which most people don't even really know about from what I understand. But yeah, so this one definitely doesn't work. So on to the last two. Now this machine is very nostalgic and has its brush, the hose, but no crevice tool. This is the Black & Decker Dirt Buster floor and hand vac. I had one of these back in 2007, and I smashed it, or at least I attempted to back then, but this thing was pretty durable, so it was difficult to. But yeah, I always wanted another one of these because it was very nostalgic. It's a cute little machine. From what I remember, you can like pull this middle section off and you can attach a hose to the bottom of it, and it's got like a 2-position sort of a design with like a little filter in here. And we'll check that out real quick, actually. If I can remember this. It's been so long. Yeah, that's in good shape. And that filter's in good shape. Okay. Not complaining about that. And then we've got this. We got this adorable little brush roll. Almost like a modern Dirt Devil broom vac. Modern at the time, at least. There is no sticker on this anywhere, which is interesting. I'm not really sure if there ever was. I mean, I would think there would have been a sticker somewhere on this with some information, but it's not on the bottom, it's not on the top. Is it behind here, maybe? It is not. Okay, it's very fascinating. So yeah, so it's got that little thing, which I'll do a video on this later if this does work. Again, I'm not sure why there's no sticker anywhere on it, unless I'm missing it somehow. But yeah, let's see if this thing does anything. Ha! Very fascinating, and a lovely little addition to the collection. And this, of course, is the star of the show. For the longest of time, I can never find a good Fantom Cyclone XT. I've got two of them, but they both have problems. I've been meaning to try to push them into one good unit and one crappy one, but I haven't done that yet. But so far, this XT has a good pedal release. It looks really good. If we lay this down, bottom of this looks really good. Brush roll's a little worn, but more than serviceable. And we got two headlight bulbs. I'm not really sure why he didn't sell this one. If we pull this off, we've got what appears to be a brand new filter, or close to it. I mean, this thing looks mint. A little bit of dust right there, but nothing too crazy. Definitely not the original. Definitely been replaced at some point. So that's good. And here's the real kicker. Everything. We've got dusting brush, upholstery tool, crevice tool, floor nozzle. And here's the real kicker. I didn't even know this existed. It's a Fantom 1.25" adapter. Did you ever know these existed? I didn't either. Which, I guess it makes sense, because if you wanted to use the lightning attachments on this, you could. So you put that in there, or on the hose, and any 1.25" attachments, just like that. Absolutely wonderful. Didn't even know this was a thing. I wonder how much one of these would even be worth. But yeah, very happy about that. So I can use 1.25" attachments on any of my Fantoms natively. That is awesome. So not only is this complete, but it's got an extra little thing that I would have never guessed. So that is awesome. But the question is does it work? We're about to find out. Uh-oh. So as you can see, the brush roll motor sometimes stalls out, which tells me it's definitely not perfect, which would explain why this thing didn't get sold, because other than that, it is literally perfect. It smells great. It cleans great. One of the headlights works at least. Maybe the other one's blown. You can tell someone tried to rip these apart through here because these lenses are all chewed up. Well, that's not how you get to the headlights on these. This one's a little less chewed. I wonder if someone tried to pry this off to change those. I don't believe that's how you change them on the XT. I believe it's like everything else where you lift the hood up. Maybe I'm wrong. But yeah. So, good amount of fine dust in there. Plenty of stuff. Some of this is from earlier. A little bug in there. But yeah, some sand and stuff right there for some reason. That's not good. That probably scratched up the bin down here. Yeah, but other than that, this thing is golden. Needs a headlight and, well, that's it really. I mean, yeah, the brush sometimes kicks out, which is annoying, but it's more than usable, you know? And this alone is the star of the show, because, I mean, where are you going to find a good XT with a new filter and everything? And, yeah, so very happy. This was a fun episode of Vacuum Saved. I hope you enjoyed it. And there will be more to come. There will be another Vacuum Saved that I actually originally was going to do instead of this one, but now I've got this to post instead. So there will be another Vacuum Saved before the end of the year, more than likely. So feel free to subscribe if you want to see that. Anyways, this is Intellitech Studios signing out. Have a good one. Peace.